Good morning and welcome to Winnipeg on this it's trying to be sunny now day, pizza day. Yeah, a couple of hours ago or 3 hours ago, when I should have actually been starting here, it was pretty cloudy. There was no sunrise over the bridge this morning. Every once in a while you could almost see where the sun was supposed to be, but for the most part there won't be a time-lapse sunrise at the end of today's video. Now, today we turn the page. We move to step 46. I think rather than trying to flap my gums here and talk about the weather, let's just recompose and flip the page and see what's ahead. Okay. Step 46. It looks like the very first thing we're going to do is make some sort of a little, and it's going to go right there. There's actually quite a lot to do here in 46. Does not appear to be a lot of photo etch though. Yeah, got a photo etch ladder there, but it does appear that we're going to be, some of the things we're going to be putting on, I think we might already have. Okay, instead of speculating here, why don't I let's find out what it is we need and start nipping off some parts. Or did we already get these? I think we've got some of these made up already. Well, that'd be good. All right. Now, I did get out on my scooter yesterday. I actually got out on it twice. The first time I went over to my grandkids' place and showed them my scooter, and I don't know what they thought of Grandpa sitting on a scooter. I don't think they recognized me almost. Anyway, second time I was out for quite a while, and I went way over to where I used to live when I was about 18 through 26. And it was kind of nice to see the old area again. I didn't recognize too much. I recognized the house we lived in. And then I went over to where my wife and I lived when we were first married. And just sort of putted around. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time. And I was out for quite a while. Okay, I've got a tray here with a bunch of stuff that's already made up. Remember I was saying I had a bunch of extra of these? I think we do need some of them though. And we got some test tubes here with stuff that has to be put on. But anyway, I was talking about these things here, and I guess they're nipped off and trimmed, but they're not painted. So an extra ship's bell. I thought there was two. Okay, and these things here, they have to go on somewhere eventually. We used up two of them already. Bunch of these storage lockers of some kind. I don't think we need any more of these. I guess we're going to find out as we go along. I do think we need some of these right away on this step. They have to be glued onto the side somewhere. Ian's hands. I never hear from Ian anymore, do we? Yeah. Remember he sent those way back when I was doing the Bismarck? and the joke was just I'd like to give you a hand or something like that. And all of a sudden, he just stopped commenting. So, yeah, that's what I was sort of indicating a few episodes back. It's almost kind of sad when somebody stops commenting. And it was around that time that COVID hit, and I remember wondering, did something happen? But that's the way it goes, people come, people go. I'm that way too. There's people that I've been watching regularly or were watching regularly, and I just quit. Yeah. Anyway, all right, we're going to be needing these, so for right here. Okay, the N1 and the N3 we've already got. But we need a bunch of stuff off the J sprue. We need the 13, the 14, the 15, and 19. And this we've already got made up. Now, when I was reaching across the ship to get this pointer, I was reminded of something that we have to do. And I think that has to be done right now. I'll show you. Okay, when I was reaching across the model here into Jeff's Bismarck cup to get this pointer, I was suddenly reminded about all this stuff here. Okay, we got that sticking up, and we got that sticking up. We got all this sticking up. So we got to make safety hoops to go up and around. I hope I've got a piece of wire that's going to be long enough. I think what I'll do is I'll glue pieces of wood on here again using my hot glue gun. I think I'm probably just going to go ahead and try and quickly do that off camera and get it done, which once again means we're excuse me, we're probably going to have a rather short episode because I won't be videoing it, obviously. And then we'll find our J sprue. Well, I've got a problem. And the problem is this. I've got one piece glued on, and I just don't feel like doing this right now. Cold pizza, maybe that'll sort of cheer me up. Well, I don't need cheering up. I just, yeah. Anyway, we already know what's in there. Lots of chicken, lots of mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, onions, some sort of pieces of pork. Okay, yeah, all right, we got to keep with tradition here. Now I know that looks like a pretty big bite, and it kind of was, but it was pretty thin too. When I see what cold pizza, you can just pick it up. Okay, we are looking down on Winnipeg from probably, I'm guessing 15 miles high. And you can see here I've got a sort of a route mapped out. Well, this is basically where I've already gone, but I was thinking it might be kind of fun to put the chest cam on some nice day. Probably a late Saturday afternoon when the traffic is not too heavy. And yeah, we'll just sort of, let me zoom in on this if I can here. Okay, our home is right up here, and the plan would be to sort of zigzag around on some of the more quiet streets. This street that you're seeing right here is what we call Henderson Highway. It's fast and busy, and people do not want to be slowed down by a scooter. So I'm thinking that unless I run into construction, and there is a lot of construction in this area, so yeah, unless I run into construction, I should be able to go all the way to the house right here where I lived from 1965 through 1973. Yeah, moved there when I was 18 years old, and moved out very soon before I got married. Oh, kind of interesting. After I was married, we lived right about here. Yeah, let's see if I can zoom in on it. But yeah, there we go. We lived in this apartment block right here, and yeah, this is called Poplar Avenue. Now our house was on Noble Avenue. Noble Avenue is a fairly short street. Let's get over to it here. It only runs from, I think it's called Glenway Crescent through to Henderson Highway. It's only 2 blocks long. And I always remember the first time I saw Noble Avenue. I was so impressed with it. My dad picked me up at the bus depot. My folks had already moved to Winnipeg, and I was working at a summer resort. And when I came in for the first time, he picked me up at the bus depot. We came in on Henderson Highway, and we turned left onto Noble. And I remember being so impressed with all the trees. There, you can hardly see the street for trees because it's like a canopy. And I thought it was really beautiful. Now, back in 1965, this area was well, it was old already, but of course now, I think probably most of those roofs you're looking down on, those houses are probably about 100 years old. I should find out how old is Elmwood. This was known as Elmwood. Okay, so that's the plan. I'm planning to, all being well, do this route on the scooter some nice warm afternoon. And there's not going to be very many of those left. And we'll go right from my house up here all the way to where I used to live. That's the plan. Okay, here's what's been happening. I just finished editing out everything that you've seen up until right now. And when I was sitting there in front of the computer, I thought, it looks pretty nice outside right now. And yeah, it is. It's 27.4. And that's perfect. But I thought, I better just check the radar just for fun. So I did. And about 100 miles south of here is sort of a squall moving slowly this way. I don't know how slowly, but I'm guessing it'll be here by supper time. Maybe sooner. And I want to get out. Not a very good episode today, folks. Well, at least not very much done. I'm going to call her quits. So, on this wonderful pizza day, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.